Welcome to the Down to the Wire podcast. My name is Jet. I'm here with AB. Y'all know how it goes. We're back, episode 5. This man's laughing at me already. This is great. Um, so here's the thing. We're gonna jump into it. It's gonna be a short one today, but I want to start with something. It's an interesting thing. I know me and AB talked about it. Like the day that it happened, but Duke versus UNC happened, and that's like a big. If you guys don't know, it's a big college rivalry, in basketball, by the way, and it was crazy because the cheapest tickets for that game were almost $3,000. The cheapest tickets for the Super Bowl, talking about the biggest game in football, was about the same price, around $3,000. That, to me, that's mind blowing, right? Because it's like you're looking at a college basketball game, right? That's like regular season, and people are spending $3,000 on a ticket.
It's a little ridiculous. And then on top of that, 30 seconds in, fucking.
Bro, that's the thing. Like, dang well people are only spending that to go watch Zion play, right? But to me, that's great because that proves the point that I made about like why I would take him number one, because those ticket sales, dude, he's making whatever team he goes to, he's gonna make them so much money, so much money. So like, he's my number one pick for that reason alone. Because those bottom tier teams, like, you need ticket sales. You don't have it. You don't have the promise of going to the playoffs. You don't have the promise of going to the finals. You don't have the promise of even winning games. Period. Okay, these bottom tier teams are barely cracking 10 wins in the season, and we're 60 games in. So yeah, they need someone like Zion. So that to me was always why I would take him number one, besides the fact that he's just a generational talent at 285 pounds, jumping almost 50 inches in the air. Like, it's just ridiculous, dude. But yeah, so 30 seconds into the game,
Blows through a shoe.
it just
of a man.
It's crazy, man. Like, that sucks too, because I guess it was the shoe's fault. I didn't actually see the clip. I got the picture here. I didn't see the clip. I'm assuming it was because he went through the shoe. That's why he kind of landed awkwardly and hurt his knee. But
yeah, he went to go stop, and then just like blew through his thing and just like knee sprain or whatever, or hyperextended it. But just unfortunate. That's like one of those things where it's like you got like a 1 in like million chances of blowing through your shoe like that. But
yeah. I mean, I feel like someone like him, it's maybe not 1 in a million. It's I feel like it's pretty likely, dude, when you're able to move that quick and make sharp cuts at almost 300 pounds. Like, I feel like you might be blowing through some shoes,
Yeah, you definitely have a higher chance, but it's still one of those things where it's like it rarely happens.
Yeah.
You've seen it a couple times. Like, it happens a couple times in the NBA, but it's like, statistically is very unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate.
So now the talk is, and this is talk that I agree with, is if he should just sit out until he goes to the NBA.
Terrible idea.
I think he should.
I don't think he should though, because it's like it's so much different than football sitting out. Because I know I saw people like try to compare. It's like, you see these NFL players sitting out their bowl games and stuff so they can like get ready for the draft and like, not risk injury. But it's like it's so different, and you can't even compare them, because the way NFL, because like they're both physical sports, don't get me wrong, and like you get a high chance of injury, but it's like basketball injuries are so much more like not in your control. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like football, every time you step on that field and every time there's a snap, you have a chance of a major injury. Like, you get hit the wrong way or something like that. Like, it's just like you have such a higher chance of injury and such a higher chance of a more serious injury than basketball, where basketball is like, you see all these bad, like Gordon Hayward broke his leg and all that. All these are freak injuries. When you see a basketball injury, like, unless it's like an ACL tear or something like that, or a rolled ankle or something, it's a freak injury. And it's like right now he has like a hyperextended knee, a week or two, or I don't know what the injury diagnosis is or when he's gonna be back. But it's like, if he's 100% healthy, like it's not like a hyperextended knee is not gonna like because they do tests, man. They probably did MRIs,
Oh
fucking
yeah, he's probably
every
been through
single
the
thing they
ringer
put on
already.
him to see if there's like a little tiny tear in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably fine. Yeah, I mean, it's just a hyperextended knee. It hurts. It's gonna be a little sore, and but like I don't know how long the injury, but like whenever he's fully healthy, it's like he came there to win. Like he went there with RJ and all that. Like they all talked before. Like they all committed together. They want to win that championship. And I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like it won't really affect him, because if he's gonna get an injury after that, it's not gonna be because he was gonna get it anyways. You know what I mean? It's like it's not because like he got injured once. It's like I just don't. Like, he's a hooper. Like you got to hoop.
I understand that point of view, and I think he's gonna come back and play, because I know that he does want to play and he wants to win, and March Madness is a really fun environment to be in, and I know he'd love to play in that. Just because, like, I've watched videos on him, and I know he's a competitor, and he wants to, prove that he deserves to be there. He's not just there because of, like, the physical, what he could do physically. He wants to be there because he's a really good basketball player. So I get it. But I also understand the side of just sitting out. But that leads into, the next thing I want to talk about, which is if they should lower the age. They're talking about it now. Lowering the age from 19 to 18 to get into the NBA, which is how it used to be. So basically, no more one and done. If you're good enough coming out of high school, you can go straight to the NBA, which I think is a 100% yes. They should do that.
Yes, I love that idea. I don't see why they didn't do it. It's like, because not a lot of people are going to, like, because I feel like if they do that, it's going to be like a lot of, like, I don't think it's gonna like significantly change the college. It won't affect college that much, because it's only gonna be like the real top players who are able to make into the draft, get an invite to the draft combine, stuff like that. Like someone like maybe like someone like a RJ Barrett, like that. You have to be that type of caliber level coming from high school to do that. Like you're not gonna have these like regular D1, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't see a problem with it, because like, I don't know, 1 year in college, is it really, like, yeah, Zion's proving himself, but like, if he didn't have that 1 year in college, I mean,
it wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered, honestly.
The way I look at it, like you said, I don't think it'll change college basketball too much. There's a very select few players who will be, good enough to even be in that boat. And I think, again, I don't know too much about college basketball this year. I don't know every player, but I'd say probably the only players I can really think of off the top of my head is Zion and RJ Barrett, obviously both for Duke. But even like Cam Reddish, who's projected to go number 4 in the draft, I believe. I don't see him as being someone who would have came straight out of high school and got drafted. I mean, maybe he could have been, but I don't think teams would have took that risk on him. I think they would have rather seen him in college, because we see him in college now, and we're like, all right, the dude's pretty good. And obviously he was good coming out of high school, but I don't know if he was good enough to be
that's one of those other things to think about too, is like, even though they're like even though you might have the ability and you might be eligible, it's one of those things where like, you have to like, because it's one of those things where like, if you sign an agent out of high school too, like, you're going to be ineligible for college. So it's kind of like, it's one of those things where you have to be like the next LeBron James to do that. Because you kind of screw yourself.
I was gonna say, you're gonna ruin your own career.
You're like, if you sign or something because you need to sign with like an agent to gauge your interest for teams and get invites and stuff like that. And like, if everybody's like kind of sketchy on you, because like you can put up good performances, but teams still like even in the NFL, you see a lot of QBs. When you look at them, you're like, they're kind of sketch, but like teams will like pick them because mechanics and they look at more than just like the stats that they put up.
Right.
But it's one of those things where it's like it's a big risk, it's a big gamble.
Yeah, for sure. And
if you don't get picked, you're in the D-League, kid.
I mean, it is interesting to think about, and I think like someone like LaMelo, his situation's very interesting because he's not even like he can't even play college basketball. That's the thing. So like. It was a whole thing. I watched a video on it, and it was like they were breaking down like why he can't, but there's just been so many factors that would lead to like if he ends up playing college basketball, it's a very, very slim chance. So, yeah, it's like super. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out as well, because I think for his sake, being able to go straight to the NBA would be helpful. I don't necessarily know if he would be good enough for that, but that would be like literally. I think he'd have a better chance of going straight to the NBA than he did actually being eligible to play college basketball. Like that's how messed up his situation is with everything that's gone down. With his life. So, yeah. But
another thing I was just thinking about, but I mean that would be good because if they lowered that to 18, that means. I mean that's actually I just thought about that. It could actually. I mean, you'd still have to be like top tier, but not as top tier as NBA because G League is a whole nother thing. I bet they're gonna have I bet G League is gonna be like getting so many recruits from like instead of going to college, because even if you're a Zion or something and a team like maybe a team will draft you or something, or maybe they won't draft you because you get undrafted and then you're technically a free agent, but they'll sign you like right away because they wanted you, but they don't want to spend the pick on you.
Yeah.
But I mean they send you straight to the G League. You're gonna get paid in the G League. Obviously, it's not a lot, obviously, but like if you're like a like a Cam Reddish or something, instead of going to college, you can just go be a free agent, get picked up by a G League team, get paid, and then get like real like. I mean, G League's more competitive than college, honestly. Like it's going to be more accurate representation of the competition he's going against.
Yeah.
And if he does good, it's going to make him look even more NBA ready, and then he could get moved up that same year, or just wait till next year to bring him up to the roster.
Yeah, no, that's actually
G League's a good option. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Actually, I forgot about the G League. So that's yeah, that's actually smart. So moving on. This one I just thought was really funny. The All-Star game happened. It was fun. A couple things I want to touch on. For one, shout out to J. Cole for that halftime performance because it was fire, and I think we can both agree that it was better than. Okay, I think we could both agree that it was better than the Super Bowl halftime, which is honestly sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was oof. But this was fire. Yeah, Meek Mill was out there for the intros, which was also fire.
The intro was literally Meek Mill's intro performance was better than the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I'll agree. But yeah, man, J. Cole put on a show. He did like I think 5 songs. Nice little mix. Did a shout out to 21 Savage. Did the verse that he has on 21 song, and yeah, it was fire. More importantly, from the All-Star game, something that we talked about, caring about going into the game that we were hoping would happen, and it did, was the alley-oop from Dwayne Wade to LeBron James one last time, playing on the same team. This moment for me was great. You guys, like we said on the first episode, Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time. I love this dude. He's just so fun to watch. And being like, knowing how iconic that first time that they did it was, and being able to see it recreated was so dope. And even though, like, at first when he was looking back, I was like, dang, man, he kind of ruined the picture. Like, I really wanted him to do it the same way as before. But then, I saw someone put a comment on it, and it was like, the young Dwayne Wade didn't look back because he knew it happened so many more times, but the old one looks back one last time to see greatness or something like that. And I was like, dang, that's really kind of how it was, But yeah, so this was a great moment, just for me to enjoy being a Dwayne Wade fan. I know a lot of people cared about it. It was definitely one of the more talked about things with the All-Star game. But yeah, so I'm glad they were able to do it. It's pretty dope. And yeah. So moving on.
All-Star game was fun.
Yeah, the All-Star game, it started pretty bad. It got better at the end. Team LeBron, made their little comeback, and I think Team LeBron ended up winning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was actually good. I was surprised. Team Giannis was up by like 20-some points.
Had like the worst, like numbers in terms of like viewership.
Really?
Of any like All-Star game, yeah, it was pretty low.
Interesting.
I mean, everybody's probably just streaming that shit. Nobody's
watching TV. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Because there are a lot of people that stream it. Like we see in the, because we stream it. I mean and we see in the chats and stuff like how many people are there. But yeah, so that is interesting though. I mean, I thought it was a good game. I'm just waiting for the year when both teams score 200 points because literally all we're gonna do is shoot 3-pointers. We're almost there. They shot at least 60 something in the first half. It's ridiculous. So I don't know how many they took on the game, but wild. But yeah, dude, we'll go in. We'll go into the last thing. This is a pretty interesting topic here that I'm sure if you're a sports fan, you've probably heard about it, and that's good old Mr. Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots. We have a lifer here, Patriot lifer, and maybe he'll change his opinion now because his owner's a terrible person.
I won't, but you know what, man? All right. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't know what to think about it, man. It's just like it was such a big shock when you sent me that. Literally just this morning, and then literally right after you sent me that, Jerm texted me. He called me, FaceTimed me, and I was on the toilet, and I was like, I was so many things going on at once, man.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, was charged with a misdemeanor with solicitation of prostitution. Apparently, it was some sort of sex ring or something crazy. I don't know, dude. I don't know what it was. I don't know exactly what his involvement was. I just know he was involved with it, and they are putting a warrant out for his arrest, I believe, or at least notifying his people that there is a warrant out for his arrest. Something along those lines. The crazy part to me was how close it was to home, to us. Because apparently it was the Jupiter police that...
Yeah, no, it was in Jupiter, which is literally right down
the street
from our home.
Yeah. 45 minutes away, so, crazy. And, yeah, and apparently there's a widespread crackdown on sex trafficking in the Palm Beach County. Over 200 arrest warrants have been issued, so, it's kind of crazy, man. And it's crazier just because of how close to home it is, Yeah,
I mean, I'm reading what's happening right now, and it was it seems like he was it's misdemeanor charges, solicitation, he just paid for it, it was 2 things. He just went in there. It was 2 different times where he went in there and just paid for a happy ending, as some may say. But there was a lot of people involved in this. Looking at what the police saying, this was a sex trafficking, a big ring or whatever. So yeah. I mean, that's the one thing where they haven't said he's involved in it, but that would be bad if he was involved in a whole sex trafficking.
I mean, I don't know, dog.
I mean, that's the thing though. It is kind of obviously they haven't charged him with it, or they haven't said anything about him being engaged in that, but it's one of those things where it's I doubt he just went in there. I don't know, it's one of those things when someone that big and that much money and that much influence stuff, it's hard to believe he just went in there just for 2 happy endings.
Yeah. And
then all these other people was and there was a whole sex trafficking thing going.
Yeah, exactly. That's what sketched to me. I was like, come on, dude. Nah, I ain't buying it. So, yeah, it's you
gotta McCourty said, he was when something like this happens, best thing to do is just let it ride out and see what happens. That's what he commented on. And for now, the 2 things, I mean, it's I think all you have to do is most people charged with the first time with soliciting prostitute in Florida are allowed to enter a diversion program. So he would have to perform 100 hours of community service and pay for a program about the negative effects of prostitution and human trafficking. I mean, that's...
Can you imagine Robert Kraft doing 100 hours of community service?
I mean, honestly, I could.
Oh my god. I mean, he seemed like a cool dude, but I feel like he was just a little too cool. He's a little too chill,
Hey man, he's all for that. He's partnering up with everybody for prison reform, man. So
oh my god,
he knows coming to the rescue.
Oh man, Yeah, so I mean, this is the best, not best. I'm sorry, that's not the word to use. This is the biggest news that we've gotten out of the NFL in recent times. So yeah, there's that. Which I mean, typical NFL is always some sort of scandal going on, and yeah, I mean, it is an interesting thing. So yeah, man. I mean, that's all we got. Unless you got
That's
anything to
actually a big
add.
problem in Florida too. 'Cause I
Well,
know over
yeah.
here in Fort Myers, there's a lot of like places and stuff that like on the East Coast, there's a lot of like human trafficking, like sex trafficking over here.
Yeah.
It's a big thing over here. It's like a
Uh,
Florida thing, man.
Well,
Probably 'cause we're a
Florida's.
peninsula and we just have water surrounding us.
I
know.
mean, you could use that logical reasoning. I'm just gonna say it's because people in Florida suck.
Pretty much. Whenever you see something on the news, it's always Florida, man.
Yeah.
Florida.
Anything crazy has to do with Florida. But and we can say that because we're from here and live here, so it's okay. But yeah. So this was interesting. Again, biggest news to come out of the NFL in recent time, which is pretty sad, but it is what it is. Hopefully, everything gets straightened out, and people receive
Other than
whatever
Kaepernick
punishments
getting
they're
his
gonna get.
That was pretty big.
What, Kaepernick?
Yeah, getting his money, settling with him and Eric Reed settled with the NFL.
I didn't know he
Did
got
you?
money.
Yeah, undisclosed amount, which means a lot of money.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I thought it was more of a Actually, yeah, I guess that does. Never mind. Yeah, makes sense. I mean,
Let's see.
I personally think he should be signed to a team, but that's a whole can of worms,
Yeah. Yeah, you'll never win any arguments, or I don't know.
Nah.
It's pointless to talk about it just because it's just.
Yeah,
stupid.
I mean, like, dude, people got their opinions, and like that's fine, dude. Your opinion's your opinion. You can believe what you want to believe. No opinion's a wrong opinion, So
Exactly.
it's just how it is. But also, I do still have his jersey. Shout out to Raw. I won that giveaway a long time ago. I got a signed Kaepernick jersey, so if anybody wants it, if you're a Kaepernick fan, holla at your boy. And yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wait, you do have that jersey, though.
Yeah.
Too, from that you won.
It's been kind of cool to have because I got it before all this happened, like before he started kneeling and stuff. And then literally after I got it, it was like a week later that he started kneeling, and like the whole thing came up, and I was like, Jesus, dude, it just went from a jersey that could have been around maybe $100 or not, maybe not 100, but like $80-ish, 80 to 100. Now it's just worth like nothing because everybody hates him. I was like, oh man. So I just kept it as like a memorabilia piece because it's pretty cool. Just having a signed NFL jersey, So, yeah, man. That's going to be it. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another one. Next week will be a little bit longer. We'll have some more to talk about for sure. But yeah, man. Shout out to Robert Kraft for keeping it G. Also, stick around. I'm going to be streaming some Fortnite and Apex as well. So yeah, you guys can hang out and watch that if you would like. I'm just going to end the stream, get this clip over, and then start it back up, and we'll be playing. So yeah, stay tuned. Appreciate y'all hanging out. See you next time.